Well, this is what remains of the Nova Kakhovka hydro power plant dam after it was breached. Reports on social media say 11 of the 28 spans of this dam have been destroyed, allowing millions of gallons of water to flow out into the Dnipro River and the surrounding area. Now, Russian military bloggers say this happened at around 2 o'clock in the morning, but like much of the information around this incident, that can't be verified. The big question obviously is who did it. The Ukrainians blame the Russians clearly, and that is the most plausible explanation given that we now know this counteroffensive is underway, because it will make any amphibious assault, any crossing of the Dnipro in this area particularly difficult for the Ukrainians. Now, the dam is also around 20 miles upstream from Kherson city, so it's a key crossing point of the river. And on social media, President Zelensky quickly branded this an act of terrorism by the Kremlin. And in fact, back in October, he warned the European Council that the Russians had this in mind as a possible target and had already mined the dam. Now, the Russians occupying the south of the Dnipro, they blame the Ukrainians, saying that they actually shelled the dam themselves, which doesn't seem entirely plausible. And there is a third explanation being put forward by Russian media, which is that this is some sort of structural failure within the dam. Now, that does have a degree of plausibility because the Russians have allowed this dam to fill to a 30-year record level while they've been occupying this particular area. The slightly strange element of this is that by attacking the dam, the Russians would be some way disrupting the water supply to Crimea, which they occupy. So in some ways that seems rather odd. So there's a military, strategic, tactical level to this, but there's also a huge environmental aspect to this story, because this dam supplies water to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant to cool its reactors. That's the largest nuclear power plant in Europe. Now, currently 4 of the 6 reactors at Zaporizhzhia are actually shut down, and today the International Atomic Energy Agency said that at the moment at least there is no danger to the power station. Now, some while ago Ukraine actually put out a model of what would happen if this dam was breached, showing where the water would flow and the areas it would affect. Now, they say they are evacuating around 16,000 people at the moment. There's also a huge impact on wildlife in the area. Now, this obviously comes as Ukraine continues to mount this offensive along this huge front line, with civilians now not just at risk of firepower, but flooding too.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.